Today is the day. Oh my, everybody's waiting for all things FAANG. How are you feeling about the group?
Listen, I think it's an overcrowded trade, right? I think we can all agree that there's been a ton of money that's gone into it. You've seen how the group has outperformed. We've seen how it's led off the March lows, and we've seen how it's led as we've all lived through this COVID crisis and the way that technology has, in fact, changed the way we live, the way we work, and really the wave of the future. So it's definitely an overcrowded trade. I think that the earnings are going to come in with expectations. I don't think you're going to find any one of them that are going to disappoint, and if they do disappoint, it creates a little bit of pressure on the names. That's actually not a bad thing because it'll take some of the fluff out and it'll give a chance for other investors to kind of get in instead of always feeling like they're chasing.
So you have some key support levels or key numbers that you watch with some of these stocks for Facebook and some target numbers. I guess support and where you think these things could go. Pick one and start with it, because people love to invest in this group. I mean, if I talked about anything else, they would say, why aren't you talking about FAANG, right? So give me some investment ideas for this group.
It's an exciting group for sure, not only because it's just exciting, it's technology about changing the world, but look, you can't, when you're going to invest in it, you also have to pay attention to kind of where these stocks have been. And so Facebook is a perfect example, right? If you look at it, the stock is up 63% just in the second quarter alone, from April till now, it's up 63%. It's pulled back a little bit in the last couple of days. I think angst in the general market, angst ahead of that testimony yesterday. What were they going to say? What was it going to feel like? And so it's actually broken its short-term trend line, which is kind of significant because the other ones haven't done that yet. And actually, they're still well above their trend lines. But Facebook is an interesting one because it's now trading below that 50-day moving average, which leaves it vulnerable if it should disappoint at all, or if investors should be disappointed for whatever reason with their report. It would give it an excuse to back off. And so, I'd look for support somewhere around the 220, 225 range. I don't think it's going to fall out of bed by any stretch. But look, if it disappointed at all, I would suspect, down 10 points or so, 9 or 10 points, is where it should absolutely find some support, if not before then.
Yeah, so if it falls down to those levels, right? I mean, you said it leaves it a little vulnerable, breaking below the trend line, that the others haven't done that. And, right away someone would say, oh, great, I'll buy it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's the case. It could mean that there could be further to fall. That being said, if it falls to those levels to which you were referring, right, like the 220 or so, would you step in and buy it there?
I think it's got plenty of support. If you look at the chart, you'll see that it found plenty of support right around that 220 range in June, right? In early June, it really bounced around. It found support there. So in my opinion, right now, it would feel like if it's going to trade down there, you're going to watch it. You're going to see if it you can tell right away if it's going to hold or if it's not going to hold. And if it holds and you want to jump in, if you're a trader, you want to jump in, it wouldn't be a bad place to jump in. If you're somebody that already has a position and you're looking for an opportunity maybe to add a little bit more, it might be a place for you to start to consider to do that as well.
I know you also said don't bet against Apple, Amazon, and Alphabet, Google for the long term. Let's focus on Apple. What do you think? Is that a good one to focus on? Because I'm hearing, I think Dan Ives was on with me recently, and he said Apple could go to 500. You're looking at some key support levels. This is a good long-term play. Where would you pick it up?
I think Apple, I would never bet against Apple. I think Apple's a name that people should have, just have in their portfolio and forget they ever had it, right? And continue on weakness to chip away at it, or absolutely, continue to stay involved in it one way or the other. Look, that stock's up 70% since April. Again, it's pulled back a little bit the last couple of days as the market's gotten a little bit anxious, but it remains well ahead of its trend line support, all three trend line support, which is a positive. But if there's any disappointment at all, and I don't think that Tim Cook is going to disappoint. He hardly ever does. And look, we're also heading into the fall and into the holiday shopping season, which is always the strongest cycle for them, right? So I wouldn't be so quick to bet against it. But I would look for support down at the 355-ish level. If it's going to back off at all, it should find some support at the 355 level. But remember, it's all going to be dependent also upon, as any of these names are, about the forward guidance. What do these CEOs or CFOs going to say about forward guidance. And we've seen that the companies that actually offer forward guidance are being rewarded, and the companies that choose either not to or say they can't, that it's too vulnerable, blah, blah, those ones are actually being punished a little bit. I don't think that's going to be the case with Apple at all. And I would look at any weakness at all to add to at least my Apple position.